Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I advise and empower women professionals, particularly women veterans, to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain lucrative opportunities. And we focus on 4 different areas: appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and digital presence. So if you are here this morning, welcome to the show. I already see Mosaic Sparks in the building. Thank you so much, Madame, for being here and your continued support, especially on the lives, because there's so much going on out here, y'all. And so if you come into this space, I absolutely appreciate your presence and you're adding value to the conversation. So I am a professional keynote speaker, a certified image consultant, a 3-time author. I would say 4 times because now I'm in an anthology that I announced last week when we were on the show. So if you haven't watched that episode, make sure you go back and watch that. As well as United States Air Force veteran, of 30 years. And so on this show, we talk about all the things on how we can slay. Okay, slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym, which stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that really resonate with me the most. And I hope that it resonates with you too. And it stands for Stay Ready to Be Ready, Lead Out Loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. So today, y'all, we're going to talk about a subject that's really dear to my heart, okay? Because as many of you know, when I was in the United States Air Force hood, my last role, I served as a Command Chief Master Sergeant. And in this role, I was responsible, part of the 3-persons team responsible for up to 8,000 people on the installation. And so in that role, I realized all the different leadership roles that I had up until then prepared me to be in that role. And it was all about leadership. All right. So it's not about the ranks, it's not about the titles, it's not about the positions. I actually was in it with everyone else. Meaning, if there was an exercise, I was carrying the litters, putting people on litters, carrying them to one place to the next. If we had physical training on base, I would join organizations and I would actually be part of their physical testing because I could easily do it on my own, but I was like, no. And y'all know how much I love to work out. And this morning's workout was running on a spin bike and some leg work. So I believe that a lot of the things that I was able to accomplish was because I was mindful and very consistent with my routine. And so I have built several habits over the years, and that's why I'm very consistent. Y'all see me here in LinkedIn. So, hey, LinkedIn, everyone who's here, I show up on this platform consistently, I would say every day. I'm also on Facebook and YouTube and also on Instagram a little bit. But my platform is LinkedIn because it's the most trusted platform and it also allows me to express my thought leadership because I have a lot of thoughts about leadership, right? So, I wanted to build a personal brand around commitment, vision, and leading by example. So, Mosaic Sparks, yes, ma'am, leading from the front. Okay. Um, I realized as I was maturing again in the military that many of the things that we're teaching us is about leadership and our leadership skills and how to employ them and what was working, what was not working. There are a lot of different leadership styles, and you have to adjust based on the environment, based on the people, based on the mission. So I learned how to do that. But what I really wanted to express to everyone in my, especially my last role, was commitment, vision, and leading by example. And this created trust, respect, and teams that I knew were right there alongside me and pushing them to achieve their fullest potential. So, your personal brand is your legacy, y'all. It is your legacy. and shaping how others see you long after you have left. All right. Now, I know that sometimes people think, wow, well, I have to be a celebrity. I have to be an influencer. I have to be a certain person, if you will, out here. And it's not about that. It's really, how do people perceive you and your leadership style? And how can you set yourself apart as a leader? So I'm going to tell you, y'all, that I had to stand for and live in it every single day, even when I didn't want to do so, even when it was hard as all get out, even when people were mocking me and didn't understand what slay meant. So, slay was the foundation for everything that I did while I was still in the military and now transitioning out as to what my business stands for. And I have not, all right, swayed away from that because I believe that the more that you do what you do, the more that you believe in what you do, people will start to see that you're not going to come off of it, right? You're not going to go off and do something else. And that's how leaders set themselves apart. So the slay set myself apart from any other the leaders because after they experience me, I'm an experience. I realize that I am an experience. And I can truly say that. And I'm not trying to be arrogant or trying to be like, oh, well, she thinks she's, got all these things together. Believe me, I'm on the hot struggle bus, or however you want to call it, every single day because every single day for me is different. But I do know that when I created Slay, I took the name or took the word slay after one of my airmen tragically passed away from his battle with depression, and his favorite word was slay. All right. I went on a deployment, y'all. And when I was on the deployment, I started journaling. I almost journaled every day. And when I was journaling, I realized that slay was much more than just the word. And I looked up the word, and as I told you, it means to kill it, to dominate and nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. And I realized in that moment, that's what I had been doing all the way up until I retired from the Air Force. And then I said, well, before I go and serve and lead in the highest enlisted position on an installation, I wanted to have a vision. I wanted to have something that people can hang their hat on. And so I said, well, let me break this down into an acronym. So stay ready to be ready. And really, the moment that I knew I needed to stay ready to be ready was when I was deployed to Vietnam. Now, I deployed to Vietnam for 3 months, and I was on the side of a mountain. I was there with 11 other people, and I thought we were going to stay in a hotel, okay, because sometimes that's what happens, right? When you're TDY, if you those that are military, if you're not military affiliated, TDY means temporary duty. And in this temporary duty, you could be temporarily assigned to another unit for X amount of days, months, years, whatever the case may be. So I was I was stationed in Japan, and I flew out to Vietnam to be part of the JPAC mission, which is going out to find missing persons from the Vietnamese War. So I thought, because they told us, hey, there's a possibility, okay, I'm putting in air quotes, possibility that y'all going to be staying out in the field. But more than likely, you'll be staying in a hotel, meaning you'll go out to the site, you're going to dig and look for missing persons, and then you're going to go back to your hotel. Now, I thought that that's what we were going to do. I was not prepared to stay out in the jungle for 3 months. I was bartering food because they did tell us to do a commissary, which is like a Food Lion or a Giant's supermarket. It's called a commissary. So I went to the commissary on base, got all these perishable items, but I wasn't really taking it seriously because I was like, this ain't going up. I'm not going to be eating out of here. I'm going to be eating in the hotel. Okay. Mm-mm. I got out there. I was bartering food. I was in my head like, you should have been ready for this. Even when they say possibility, just pack the bags, make sure you have the right gear, and so forth and so on. And the other was I thought I was only responsible for me and the 11 other people that was on the team from different services, right? We had Army, we had Marine, we had Guard, we had several different entities. So I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be easy because I was an independent duty medical technician where I could deploy to any place and provide medical care to anyone, all right, if they got sick, hurt, whatever the case. So I get there and they're like, no, you also responsible for the health and welfare of these 90 Vietnamese workers that live in a local village. So when they come out and help us dig in this site, you're going to have to take care of them, as well as the Vietnamese government, where they were with us, and there were several of them, and they lived on the other side of the mountain, if you will. And I had to walk over there and to assist them, support them if anyone got sick, and someone did get sick. Okay. So I was not ready. So that is why I believe, okay, from that point, I don't care what, what the briefing was initially, I decided to be prepared for all of the situations, right? If plan A doesn't work, what's plan B? If plan B don't work, what's plan C? And walking that all the way through. Then L is leadership. Lead out loud, because I was the late bloomer. Okay. I was in the military for the first 10 years and I just partied. Was hanging out. I was just, you know, in the military. I wasn't really serious and I didn't really take it as this is going to be my career. But when I went from two people to supervise to 40 overnight, I started to take things very clearly. And I was being rolled up, y'all, into the superintendent's office, which was a chief master sergeant. Every time one of my persons was in troubles, had a situation, I had to get into my service stress blues. Sometimes when you get in your blues, y'all, that means that you have to report in. And I was reporting in to her, which was a chief, all the time. And I realized that I had to put my hands on the wheel and to become the leader that I needed to be in all these different scenarios. And so again, when I was command chief, I said, okay, lead out loud. If you are responsible and you're giving the privilege, because leadership is a gift, if you're given the privilege to lead, take it seriously, because people need leaders, all right? Especially in these times. Need to lead well, need to lead with resilience, and you need to lead with compassion and empathy, because there's a lot of factors at hand, right? These are human beings that you are leading. So that's why I said, okay, lead out loud. A sense of community, a sense of family. Now, in the military, it is more of a family environment, right? Because at the end of the day, the military is designed for war. All right. At the end of the day, if something should happen where you have to be along a brother or a sister in arms, you are going to have to depend on each other. And that's what you have to do in the military. It's teamwork, you're team building all the time. And you're with these people 12, 16 hours a day. Sometimes, even on the weekend. I used to work a lot of weekends. And so they become part of your family dynamic. How are you performing in that family dynamic? Now, in the civilian sector, it's more community, right? Because um, I'm not necessarily have family members in these groups that I am a member of, right? So it is community and building community. And these are with like minded people, like minded professionals. Because without community, without the support from each other, you're probably not going to do as well as you would like. And so humans are designed to be with people and the social connections. So that's why I said, hey, okay, sense of community, sense of family. And why is you are built to last, because there will be very challenging days where you're going to feel like I'm just going to give up. I could have gave up, y'all. I could have retired at year 20. Okay? I could have retired. And there are a lot of people who do retire at year 20. But in my mind, I was in a role where I was a first sergeant, where I would be responsible for the health and welfare, like of, babies being born, tragic incidences where airmen passed away. I had to deal with a lot of family, finances, anywhere in that where it would prevent or prohibit from someone being ready to take on the mission. I would step in and I would support and I would help whoever that was. And there were days where I felt like this is way too much. I am carrying the weight of the world on my back. And I had to stop and think about, what is it that I need to do to make sure that I'm built to last? Built to last is a lot, right? But I knew I needed to take care of myself on 8 dimensions of wellness, right? So we have our physical, our spiritual, our emotional, our financial, our occupational, our intellectual, all these different areas that I needed to make sure that I was ready and taking care of everyone else. Um, and then I had to make sure that I was showing up in a way where people can receive me. And I'm not proud of all the days. All right. There were some days that I was really out of character. I was either upset or um, frustrated, disappointed. And I used to carry that on me sometimes. And I had to like stop myself. So for me, I set myself apart from everyone else as a leader because I had this vision. I had the sleigh. I talked about the sleigh. Anyone who has been stationed with me or served with me understood. And then when I retired, I chose to use sleigh again in the business because it's unique to me. It sets me apart from everyone else. So if you are here and you're looking to set yourself apart as a leader, I've wrote some notes down here, y'all. So give me a hot second. I'm going to give you a few easy steps. And this is the way you can elevate your leadership through personal branding. So I'm a personal brand expert. As a personal brand expert, again, I look at the 4 areas: appearance, behaviors, body language, communication skills, and your digital presence. If you want to dive all the way in, we even select a color, and that is your color, and that's what you show up in. And you all know that my color is pink. All right, because it's a way where people recognize me. I'm very memorable because I have people calling me or text me all the time. and it gives me the results that I'm looking for as a business owner to really put myself out there. All right. So that's what I do. That's what I help my clients with, who are speakers, who are authors, who are coaches, consultants, and really want to attract the right people for the right opportunities. So, the first thing you need to do is to really know who you are as a leader. Who are you? Okay. What are the values that really drive you? Is it integrity? Is it courage? Is it innovation? Is it resilience? All right. Because we can start to pinpoint these values, and those values resonate deeply within us and let us guide our every move. So, my every move I make is guided by Slay. Every move. All right. I'm very consistent. I'm showing up. And so I have a clearly defined brand and clearly defined values that not only directs my own actions, but also communicates my reliability and my consistency to others. So really think about that. Who are you as a leader? Define that, package that. All right. So, one of the things that I also do is I package up, we come up with like a brand name, if you will. We do taglines because it's important. You have maybe list the top 3 values that align with your career objectives, maybe with your business objectives, and then identify ways to bring these values into your daily leadership practices. Are you an advocate for transparency? If so, show up, right? Show it up in meetings. Show it up in networking events. Do you value empowerment? All right. Do you encourage others to be seen and heard? So I knew that I wanted to empower women professionals, especially women veterans. And then I was looking at ideas on how to do that. And one of those ideas was to create the Slay to Success talk show, which is on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there I bring in a guest. I want to amplify their voice. I want them to share what they're working on. These are people, everyday people that are living life on their own terms. And if I am an empowerment leader, if you will, that is one of the ways that I've decided that I wanted other voices to be heard. All right. So think about it. All right. Who are you as a leader? Next, your brand is an extension of who you are. Okay. It's not necessarily an alter ego. Right. So I'm affectionately called the Slay Queen. Anywhere I go, people sometimes they don't even know my first name. My first name is Rochelle, but people really don't call me that. They see me and they call me Slay. And it's most fitting because Slay for me is Slay for all the things. If I'm presented an opportunity, I try my best to achieve it through excellence. All right. I give it my all. I complete it to its fullest. There's nothing like having regret of being able to get an opportunity and not be able to see it all the way through. So I always tackle on challenges. I love when people, present something to me and I'm like, let me see if I can do that, right? And usually 9 out of 10 times I step to the plate. I'm bold. I know that I'm bold. I'm compassionate. I am innovative. I'm unique. I'm very creative, especially after retiring from the military, because I have more time and energy to really see what is in alignment with what I want my brand to be. So this is more than just me looking this way, coming up in the pink and some of these pattern outfits that I have. It's really about the voice and my apparent uh, skill set that I have, and really, it's showing up. It's everything from my emails, it's everything from my public speaking, my engagements. My tagline is keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. You see that on all of my posts that I have, because it's an extension of me. It's about how you engage, it's how you command a room, how you have a lasting impression for others to take you in. So if you're looking to uh, build a distinctive voice and a presence, then you need to start by small steps. All right. Develop consistency in your voice. What is your voice? Maybe it's inspiring. Maybe it's approachable. Maybe it's decisive. And you need to strive to embody these in all of your interactions. You got to dress, okay, act, and communicate in alignment with these traits to strengthen your presence. It's a holistic package. You can't have one without the other. You can have a bad outfit on, but you have a bad attitude, it's not in alignment. It's not going to mash up, and it's not going to resonate with people that you are engaged with. And then lastly, I would say um, that our strongest personal brands, they're not grown in isolation, meaning they're just not by themselves. These are rooted in a network of meaningful relationships. I've created meaningful relationships for years. I have my day one sister in the Air Force. We have been friends, I mean, really close friends for over 30 something years. All right. We have a very meaningful relationship. I also have mentees I meet with all the time. I met with one of my mentors, Chloe Rainey, who's now a chief. and we have a very meaningful relationship. The opportunities that I have received, and people think, oh my goodness, there's a lot going on with Slay to Success, and there is. I ain't gonna ever lie, y'all. There's a lot things going on with Slay to Success, but it's because I took the time to build meaningful relationships without asking for, all the things, without going in there and just handing my business card and pushing it in front of people. I've seen people push themselves on others because they think that that's the way that they're going to get an opportunity. I have just really shown up, been myself. Talked about, some of the dreams and the goals that I have, and people are looking out for me. And I know God has his hand all over Slay to Success. And I am just stepping into it because I am doing the work and it is in alignment with who I am. So, build meaningful relationships, whether that's with your colleagues, whether it's with your mentors, maybe industry peers. Intentional relationships can elevate your brand, y'all. They really can. It can spread your influence and increase your visibility. All right. These aren't just connections, they're strategic partnerships that reflect the truest of others and those that trust your brand. Okay. So if you're looking for some steps to how you can build relationships with purpose, then maybe identify 5 individuals within your field who embody qualities you admire. Pick 5 people. Okay. I have a whole laundry list of people who inspire me, a whole laundry list. It's absolutely beautiful. All right. But understand that when you do pick these 5, reach out to one person a week. Maybe offer value or insights based on your shared interest or your goals. Build relationships with purpose, which fosters a community around your brand and those that are going to support your leadership journey. So, why does any of this matter, y'all? Well, for me, the question always comes up as, what legacy am I building? What legacy am I building? How will people remember your leadership? All right. Because a strong personal brand doesn't just help you gain promotions or accolades or ranks, titles, or positions. It builds a foundation for a legacy. And I know many people a lot of us are looking for that legacy, because long after we're gone or long after we're leaving a room, what are people saying about you? All right. So, as you elevate your leadership through your personal branding, you're creating a vision others can really rally behind. They can get behind. They'll be part of your cheerleading squad. And it's a mission that they believe in and the impact they'll carry forward. All right, so that is today's Rise and Slay message. And so we really talked about how you can elevate your leadership through personal branding. And I kind of shared a little bit about myself, but here are the 3 steps that you can take. First, define your core brand's value, then cultivate a voice and a distinctive presence, and then build relationships with purpose. All right. Because in this world, okay, the world is craving authenticity. They're craving inspired leaders, those who invest in their personal brands because they know that they can trust. They know that there's some courage and resilience behind it because you're putting yourself out there. So just why not step into your own spotlight? Okay. Why not just go out there and just do the things that you want to do, and do it with knowing that your personal brand as a leader is in alignment with what you want it to be. So define it, and you got to refine it. I refine it all the time, and live out your brand every day, because a true leader doesn't just lead, they leave a legacy. Okay, y'all. That is the Rise and Slay Morning Show. Make sure you are sharing, okay? and letting folks know that there is a YouTube channel out there with all these videos on there. I have this show and I have the Slate to Success talk show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see you then. So have a slay amazing week. Thank you, Mosaic Sparks, for being with us live tonight. And keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.